Hey there, world explorers! Are you ready for a super fun quiz all about money? Not just any money. Money from around the world. Some questions will be easy, and others might surprise you. This fun and educational quiz covers over 200 countries and regions, helping you explore the fascinating world of money. Whether you are a curious learner, a young explorer, or a trivia enthusiast, this challenge will expand your global awareness while keeping you entertained. So grab a pencil, bring your brain power, and let's go on a currency adventure together. Let's see how many you can get right. Question 1. What is the currency of Japan? The Japanese yen, one of the most traded currencies in the world. And yes, it even comes in coins worth 1 yen. Question 2. What currency is used in Australia? The Australian dollar. Colorful, plastic feeling, and even waterproof. Aussie money is made to survive adventure. Question 3. What is the currency of the United Kingdom? The British pound sterling. One of the oldest currencies still in use. Kings and queens have used pounds for centuries. Question 4. What is the official currency of India? The Indian rupee. You'll find Gandhi on the notes, and animals like tigers, rhinos, and elephants too. Question 5. Which country uses the peso? Mexico. The Mexican peso is colorful and full of history, even older than the US dollar. Question 6. What is the currency of Canada? The Canadian dollar. Some people call it the loonie, because the $1 coin has a bird called a loon on it. Question 7. What is the currency of China? The yuan, or renminbi. Both names are correct. The money has bright colors and famous Chinese landmarks. Question 8. What is the currency of Switzerland? The Swiss franc, one of the world's strongest currencies, and the only one that comes in vertical banknotes. Question 9. What is the currency of Egypt? The Egyptian pound. Look closely, and you'll see pharaohs, pyramids, and even hieroglyphs on the bills. Question 10. What is the currency of Brazil? Brazilian real. BRL. That's Heyo in Portuguese. It's shiny, colorful, and full of wild jungle animals. Question 11. What is the currency of South Korea? The Korean won. With its cool blue and green notes, you'll see famous scholars, palaces, and even high-tech security features. Question 12. What is the official currency of Russia? The Russian ruble. This currency has been used for hundreds of years, with notes that show off Russia's towers, bridges, and history. Question 13. What was the currency of Italy before the euro? It was the Italian lira. Before Italy switched to the euro, the lira ruled the wallet, and it came in tons of tiny amounts. Question 14. What is the currency of Turkey? Turkish lira. Look closely and you'll find images of its founder, Ataturk, on every note. Question 15. What is the currency used in Saudi Arabia? The Saudi Riyal. With bright green colors and pictures of kings and holy sites, this currency is full of tradition. Question 16. What is the currency of Argentina? The Argentine peso. Fun fact, Argentina changes its designs often. One version even showed animals like the jaguar and condor. Question 17. What is the currency of the Philippines? Philippine peso. The notes show national heroes, stunning landscapes, and even famous dances. Question 18. What is the currency of Thailand? The Thai baht. You'll see their beloved king on each note and get change in fun silver and gold-colored coins. Question 19. What is the currency of Indonesia? The Indonesian rupiah, one of the highest numbered currencies. You might need thousands of rupiah just for a sandwich. Question 20. What is the currency of Vietnam? The Vietnamese dong, another high-value currency. You can be a millionaire in dong and still only buy a meal. Question 21. What is the currency of South Africa? South African Rand. Their money is so colorful and features Nelson Mandela and animals from the Big Five Safari Group. Question 22. What is the currency of Nigeria? The Naira. With its bright blue and purple colors, Naira notes show off Nigeria's heroes, culture, and history. Question 23. What is the currency of Malaysia? The Malaysian ringgit. This sparkly, colorful money even has plastic parts and flowers on it. Question 24. What is the currency of Singapore? Singapore dollar. Safe, secure, and high-tech. Their notes show schools, science, and the city's future. Question 25. What is the currency of the United Arab Emirates? The UAE dirham. On this shiny money, you'll find falcons, palm trees, and incredible Arabic script. Question 26. What is the currency of Qatar? Qatari Riyal. It's colorful and unique, often showing famous buildings and the royal crest. Question 27. What is the currency of Iraq? Iraqi dinar. Some notes feature famous landmarks like the ancient ziggurat of Ur, a real history lesson in your pocket. Question 28. What is the currency of Morocco? Moroccan dirham. With Arabic and French on its notes, you'll see palaces, arches, and modern buildings. Question 29. What is the currency of Sweden? In Swedish, krona means crown, and the notes often show poets, singers, and snowy landscapes. Question 30. What is the currency of Denmark? The Danish krone. You'll find bridges, Viking ships, and historical designs on Denmark's sleek and simple bills. Question 31. What is the currency of the United States? That's the US dollar, USD, one of the most widely used currencies in the world. Question 32. What is the currency of Pakistan? The Pakistani rupee, used across cities from Karachi to Islamabad. Question 33. What is the currency of Iran? The Iranian Rial, IRR. It's often used in tomans, which equals 10 reals. Question 34. What is the currency of Bangladesh? The Bangladeshi Taka, BDT, known locally as Taka. Question 35. What is the currency of Venezuela? The Venezuelan Bolivar, VES, a currency that's faced hyperinflation but is still in use. Question 36. What is the currency of Norway? Krone, NOK. Krone means crown in Norwegian. Question 37. What is the currency of Vatican City? Euro, EUR. Even though it's not in the EU, Vatican City officially uses the euro. Question 38. What is the currency of Kenya? The Kenyan shilling, KES, used throughout East Africa's tech hub, Nairobi. Question 39. What is the currency of Ukraine? Hryvnia, UAH, pronounced Hryvnia, introduced in 1996. Question 40. What is the currency of South Sudan? South Sudanese pound, SSP, one of the world's newest currencies since 2011. Question 41. What is the currency of Afghanistan? Afghani, AFN, not to be confused with the country's name itself. Question 42. What is the currency of Albania? Lek, named after Alexander the Great, Lika in Albanian. Question 43. What is the currency of Algeria? Dinar. The name dinar comes from the Roman denarius. Question 44. What is the currency of Andorra? Euro, EUR, Another non-EU country that still uses the euro. Question 45. What is the currency of Angola? Kwanzaa, AOA, named after the Kwanzaa River. Question 46. What is the currency of Armenia? Dram, AMD. Dram means money in Armenian. Question 47. What is the currency of Austria? Euro, AUR. Switched from the Austrian shilling to the euro in 2002. Question 48. What is the currency of Azerbaijan? Manat, AZN. Same name as the currency in Turkmenistan. Question 49. What is the currency of the Bahamas? Bahamian dollar, BSD. It's pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. Question 50. What is the currency of Bahrain? Bahraini dinar, BHD. One of the strongest currencies in the world by value. Question 51. What is the currency of Barbados? Barbadian dollars, BBD. It's also pegged to the US dollar. Question 52. What is the currency of Belarus? Belarusian ruble, BYN. Don't confuse it with the Russian ruble. Different country, different code. Question 53. What is the currency of Belgium? Euro, EUR. One of the founding members of the Eurozone. Question 54. What is the currency of Belize? Belize dollar, BZD. Also pegged to the US dollar at a 2-to-1 rate. Question 55. What is the currency of Benin? West African CFA franc, XOF, shared by several West African countries. Question 56. What is the currency of Bhutan? Ngultrum, Bhutanese Ngultrum, pegged to the Indian rupee. Question 57. What is the currency of Bolivia? Boliviano, BOB, named after Simón Bolívar, the South American liberator. Question 58. What is the currency of Bosnia and Herzegovina? Convertible marca, BAM. It's pegged to the euro. Question 59. What is the currency of Botswana? Pula, BWP. Pula means rain, a symbol of blessing in Botswana. Question 60. What is the currency of Brunei? Brunei dollar, BND. It's interchangeable with the Singapore dollar. Question 61. What is the currency of Bulgaria? The Lev, BGN. Bulgaria hasn't adopted the euro yet. The Lev remains official. Question 62. What is the currency of Burkina Faso? The franc, XOF, shared by several West African nations. Question 63. What is the currency of Burundi? The francs, BIF, not to be confused with the Central or West African francs. Question 64. What is the currency of Cabo Verde? The escudo, CVE, unique to this island nation. Question 65. What is the currency of Cambodia? The riel, KHR, still widely used despite US dollars being common there. Question 66. What is the currency of Cameroon? The franc, XAF, used by many Central African countries. Question 67. What is the currency of the Central African Republic? The franc, XAF, same as Cameroon, part of the Central African Monetary Union. Question 68. What is the currency of Chad? The franc, XAF. Yes, again. XAF dominates in this region. Question 69. What is the currency of Chile? The peso, CLP, one of several Latin American countries using the peso. Question 70. What is the currency of Colombia? The peso, COP, not to be confused with the Mexican or Chilean peso. Question 71. What is the currency of Comoros? The franc, KMF, a different franc from other African regions, specific to Comoros. Question 72. What is the currency of the Republic of the Congo? The franc, XAF. You're seeing the XAF a lot, right? Question 73. What is the currency of the Democratic Republic of the Congo? The franc, CDF, distinct from its neighbor's XAF currency. Question 74. What is the currency of Costa Rica? The colon, CRC, named after Christopher Columbus. Question 75. What is the currency of Croatia? The euro, EUR. Croatia adopted the euro in January 2023, replacing the kuna. Question 76. What is the currency of Cuba? The peso, CUP, distinct from the convertible peso, CUC, which was phased out. Question 77. What is the currency of Cyprus? The euro, EUR, a Eurozone member despite being geographically in Asia. Question 78. What is the currency of the Czech Republic? The koruna, CZK. Koruna means crown in Czech. Question 79. What is the currency of Djibouti? The franc, DJF, pegged to the US dollar. Question 80. What is the currency of the Dominican Republic? The peso, DOP, used only here, not to be confused with other pesos. Question 81. What is the currency of East Timor? The dollar, USD. They officially use US dollars. Question 82. What is the currency of Ecuador? The dollar, USD, switched from the sucre to stabilize their economy. Question 83. What is the currency of El Salvador? The dollar, USD. Bitcoin is legal tender, but the US dollar is still official. Question 84. What is the currency of Equatorial Guinea? The franc, XAF. Yet another Central African franc user. Question 85. What is the currency of Eritrea? The Nakfa, ERN, named after the town where Eritrean independence began. Question 86. What is the currency of Estonia? The euro, EUR, adopted in 2011, one of the first post-Soviet countries to do so. Question 87. What is the currency of Eswatini, formerly Swaziland? The Lelandjani, SZL, pegged to the South African rand. Question 88. What is the currency of Ethiopia? The birr, ETB, one of Africa's oldest independent currencies. Question 89. What is the currency of Fiji? The dollar, FJD, their own version, not to be confused with AUD or USD. Question 90. What is the currency of Finland? The euro, EUR, replaced the Finnish marka, FIM, in 2002. Question 91. What is the currency of France? Currency is euro, switched from the French franc to the euro in 2002. Question 92. What is the currency of Gabon? Central African CFA franc, used by multiple Central African countries, backed by the French Treasury. Question 93. What is the currency of the Gambia? Gambian Dalasi. Introduced in 1971, the Dalasi replaced the Gambian pound. Question 94. What is the currency of Georgia? Georgian lari introduced in 1995 after Georgia gained independence from the Soviet Union. Question 95. What is the currency of Germany? Euro Germany was one of the founding countries of the Eurozone in 1999. Question 96. What is the currency of Ghana? Ghanaian CD. The CD has been revalued several times since its first issue in 1965. Question 97. What is the currency of Greece? Greece adopted the euro in 2001, replacing the drachma. Question 98. What is the currency of Grenada? East Caribbean dollar shared by 8 Caribbean nations, including Grenada. Question 99. What is the currency of Guatemala? Guatemalan quetzal. Named after the national bird, the quetzal has been used since 1925. Question 100. What is the currency of Guinea? Guinean franc reintroduced in 1985 after a brief switch to the Siali in the 1970s. Question 101. What is the currency of Guinea-Bissau? West African CFA franc, one of the few Portuguese-speaking nations using the CFA franc. Question 102. What is the currency of Guyana? Guyanese dollar. The official currency since Guyana gained independence in 1966. Question 103. What is the currency of Haiti? Haitian gourd introduced in 1813. It's named after a mountain range in Haiti. Question 104. What is the currency of Honduras? Honduran lempira. Named after a national hero who resisted Spanish conquest. Question 105. What is the currency of Hungary? Hungarian forint introduced in 1946 to stabilize the post-war economy. Question 106. What is the currency of Iceland? Icelandic krona. Iceland has kept its own currency, despite being part of the European Economic Area. Question 107. What is the currency of the Cook Islands? New Zealand dollar. The Cook Islands also issue commemorative coins, but the NZD is the official currency. Question 108. What is the currency of Ireland? Euro Ireland joined the euro in 1999, leaving behind the Irish pound. Question 109. What is the currency of St. Barthélemy? Euro. As a French overseas collectivity, it uses the euro, just like mainland France. Question 110. What is the currency of Jamaica? Jamaican dollar introduced in 1969, replacing the Jamaican pound. Question 111. What is the currency of Yemen? Yemeni Rial. The Rial has been Yemen's currency since the unification of North and South Yemen in 1990. Question 112. What is the currency of Jordan? Jordanian dinar pegged to the US dollar. The dinar is known for its stability. Question 113. What is the currency of Kazakhstan? Kazakhstani tenge. Introduced in 1993, after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Question 114. What is the currency of Sint Maarten? Antillean guilder. Though planned to switch to the Caribbean guilder, it still uses the ANG. Question 115. What is the currency of Kiribati? Australian dollar Kiribati uses the AUD exclusively, even though it issues local coins for collectors. Question 116. What is the currency of North Korea? North Korean won is issued by the Central Bank of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, with limited international use. Question 117. What is the currency of Tonga? Tongan Paanga pegged to a basket of currencies. The Paanga has been in use since 1967. Question 118. What is the currency of Kuwait? Kuwaiti dinar, one of the world's highest valued currencies. Question 119. What is the currency of Kyrgyzstan? Kyrgyzstani som introduced in 1993, shortly after Kyrgyzstan's independence. Question 120. What is the currency of Laos? Lao Kip. Not widely convertible, the kip is used primarily for domestic transactions. Question 121. What is the currency of Latvia? The correct answer is euro, EUR. Latvia adopted the euro in 2014, replacing the Latvian lats. Question 122. What is the currency of Lebanon? It's the Lebanese pound, LBP. Also known as the lira, it has been Lebanon's currency since 1939. Question 123. What is the currency of Lesotho? It's the Loti, LSL. The Loti is pegged to the South African rand, and both are used in the country. Question 124. What is the currency of Liberia? It's the Liberian dollar, LRD. Liberia is one of the few African countries that uses the dollar. Question 125. What is the currency of Libya? It's the Libyan dinar, LYD, introduced in 1971 to replace the pound. Question 126. What is the currency of Liechtenstein? The Swiss franc, CHF. Although not part of Switzerland, Liechtenstein uses the Swiss franc. Question 127. What is the currency of Lithuania? It's the euro, EUR. Lithuania adopted the euro in 2015, joining the Eurozone. Question 128. What is the currency of Luxembourg? The euro, EUR. Luxembourg is one of the founding members of the Eurozone. Question 129. What is the currency of Madagascar? It's the Ariary, MGA, one of the few currencies not based on a decimal system. Question 130. What is the currency of Malawi? The kwacha, MWK. The name kwacha means dawn in Chichewa. Question 131. What is the currency of the Maldives? It's the rufiyaa, MVR, introduced in 1981, replacing the Maldivian rupee. Question 132. What is the currency of Mali? The West African CFA franc, XOF, shared with 7 other West African nations. Question 133. What is the currency of Malta? It's the euro, EUR. Malta switched to the euro in 2008. Question 134. What is the currency of the Marshall Islands? The US dollar, USD. The country uses the dollar officially without having its own currency. Question 135. What is the currency of Mauritania? The Uguaya, MRU. It's one of only 2 non-decimal currencies in the world. Question 136. What is the currency of Mauritius? The Mauritian rupee, MUR. Not to be confused with the Indian rupee. Question 137. What is the currency of Niue? The New Zealand dollar, NZD. Like the Cook Islands, Niue uses New Zealand dollars through an agreement with New Zealand. Question 138. What is the currency of Turkmenistan? The Turkmen Manat, TMT, reintroduced in 1993 after independence from the Soviet Union. Question 139. What is the currency of Micronesia? The US dollar, USD. Like many Pacific nations, it uses the US dollar officially. Question 140. What is the currency of Moldova? The Moldovan leu, MDL, introduced in 1993 after the fall of the Soviet Union. Question 141. What is the currency of Monaco? The Euro, EUR. Monaco is not in the EU, but it uses the euro through an agreement with France. Question 142. What is the currency of Mongolia? The Tugrik, MNT. Introduced in 1925, it features famous Mongolian leaders and wildlife. Question 143. What is the currency of Montenegro? It's the euro, EUR. Interestingly, Montenegro uses the euro even though it's not in the EU or Eurozone. Question 144. What is the currency of Dominica? The East Caribbean dollar, XCD, shared with 7 other island nations in the Eastern Caribbean. Question 145. What is the currency of Mozambique? The Mozambican Medical, MZN, one of the youngest currencies in Africa, reissued in 2006. Question 146. What is the currency of Myanmar? ICAT, MMK, introduced in 1952 following independence from Britain. Question 147. What is the currency of Namibia? The Namibian dollar, NAD, pegged to the South African rand, which is also accepted in Namibia. Question 148. What is the currency of Nauru? The Australian dollar, AUD. Nauru does not issue its own money. Australian dollars is the official currency. Question 149. What is the currency of Nepal? The Nepalese rupee, NPR, pegged to the Indian rupee, and features Mount Everest on many notes. Question 150. What is the currency of the Netherlands? The euro, EUR. The Netherlands replaced its guilder with the euro in 2002. Question 151. What is the currency of New Zealand? The New Zealand dollar, NZD, often nicknamed the Kiwi dollar after the national bird. Question 152. What is the currency of Nicaragua? The Cordoba, NIO, named after Spanish explorer Francisco Hernández de Cordoba. It's Nicaragua's official currency. Question 153. What is the currency of Niger? It's the West African CFA franc, XOF. Niger shares this currency with 7 other West African nations. Question 154. What is the currency of St. Helena? It's the St. Helena pound, SHP. This currency is pegged to the British pound and used on the remote island of St. Helena. Question 155. What is the currency of North Macedonia? The Macedonian dinar, MKD, introduced after gaining independence from Yugoslavia in 1992. Question 156. What is the currency of Kosovo? The euro, EUR. Kosovo uses the euro even though it's not part of the European Union. Question 157. What is the currency of Oman? The Omani Rial, OMR, one of the highest valued currencies in the world. Question 158. What is the currency of Antigua and Barbuda? The East Caribbean dollar, XCD, shared with other Eastern Caribbean nations. Question 159. What is the currency of Palau? The US dollar USD. Palau uses the dollar as its official currency, despite being an independent nation. Question 160. What is the currency of Panama? The Balboa, PAB. The Balboa circulates alongside the US dollar in Panama. Question 161. What is the currency of Papua New Guinea? The Kina, PGK, named after a traditional shell currency used in the country. Question 162. What is the currency of Paraguay? The Guarani, PYG, named after the indigenous Guarani people. Question 163. What is the currency of Peru? The sol, PIN. Sol means sun in Spanish, reflecting Incan heritage. Question 164. What is the currency of Saint-Pierre and Miquelon? The euro, EUR. This French collectivity uses the euro like mainland France. Question 165. What is the currency of Poland? The zloty, PLN. The name means golden in Polish. Question 166. What is the currency of Portugal? The euro, EUR. Portugal adopted the euro in 2002, replacing the escudo. Question 167. What is the currency of Rwanda? The Rwandan franc, RWF, used since independence from Belgium in 1962. Question 168. What is the currency of Romania? The Romanian leu, RON. Leu means lion in Romanian. Question 169. What is the currency of St. Kitts and Nevis? The East Caribbean dollar, XCD. A small island nation using the XCD like its Caribbean neighbors. Question 170. What is the currency of St. Lucia? The East Caribbean dollar, XCD, also shares this currency with nearby island nations. Question 171. What is the currency of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? The East Caribbean dollar, XCD, another user of the shared Eastern Caribbean currency. Question 172. What is the currency of Samoa? The Tala, WST. Tala means dollar in Samoan. Question 173. What is the currency of San Marino? The euro, EUR. Despite being outside the EU, San Marino uses the euro via an agreement with Italy. Question 174. What is the currency of São Tomé and Príncipe? The Dobra, STN. Updated in 2018 to a new version to reduce inflation. Question 175. What is the currency of Western Sahara? The Moroccan dirham, MAD. Although disputed, much of Western Sahara uses the Moroccan dirham. Question 176. What is the currency of Senegal? The West African CFA franc, XOF, shared with many French-speaking countries in West Africa. Question 177. What is the currency of Serbia? The Serbian dinar, RSD, introduced in the early 2000s after Yugoslavia's dissolution. Question 178. What is the currency of Seychelles? The Seychellois rupee, SCR, a tropical island currency unique to Seychelles. Question 179. What is the currency of Sierra Leone? The Leone, SLE, recently redenominated in 2022 to simplify large numbers. Question 180. What is the currency of Palestine? The Israeli shekel, ILS, widely used in Palestine, along with the Jordanian dinar in some areas. Question 181. What is the currency of Slovakia? The euro, EUR, adopted the euro in 2009, replacing the koruna. Question 182. What is the currency of Slovenia? The euro, EUR. Slovenia was the first former Yugoslav country to join the Eurozone. Question 183. What is the currency of the Solomon Islands? The Solomon Islands dollar, SBD, introduced in the 1977 to replace the Australian dollar. Question 184. What is the currency of Somalia? The Somali shilling, SOS, often replaced informally by US dollars in some areas. Question 185. What is the currency of Tanzania? The Tanzanian shilling, TZS, introduced in 1966 after gaining independence. Question 186. What is the currency of Tuvalu? The Australian dollar, AUD. Tuvalu uses the Australian dollar as its official currency. Question 187. What is the currency of Spain? The euro, EUR. Spain switched from the peseta to the euro in 2002. Question 188. What is the currency of Sri Lanka? The Sri Lankan rupee, LKR, introduced in 1872, originally pegged to the Indian rupee. Question 189. What is the currency of Sudan? The Sudanese pound, SDG, introduced in 2007 after the split with South Sudan. Question 190. What is the currency of Suriname? The Surinamese dollar, SRD, introduced in 2004, replacing the guilder. Question 191. What is the currency of Vanuatu? The Vatu, VUV, introduced in 1981 after independence from France and the UK. Question 192. What is the currency of Syria? The Syrian pound, SYP, also known as the lira, used since the 1940s. Question 193. What is the currency of Tajikistan? The Somoni, TJJS, introduced in 2000, replacing the Tajikistani ruble. Question 194. What is the currency of Uzbekistan? The Uzbekistani Som, UZDS, introduced in 1993 after gaining independence from the Soviet Union. Question 195. What is the currency of Trinidad and Tobago? The Trinidad and Tobago dollar, TTD, introduced in 1964. It's used throughout both islands. Question 196. What is the currency of Israel? The Israeli New Shekel, ILS, introduced in 1985 to stabilize the economy and replace the old shekel. Question 197. What is the currency of Togo? It's the West African CFA franc, shared by 8 countries in West Africa, including Togo. Question 198. What is the currency of the Cayman Islands? The Cayman Islands dollar, one of the strongest currencies in the world, used in this sunny British territory. Question 199. What is the currency of Bermuda? The Bermudian dollar, worth exactly the same as the US dollar, but with its own island flair. Question 200. What is the currency of Gibraltar? The Gibraltar pound. It looks different, but works just like the British pound. Question 201. What is the currency of the Falkland Islands? The Falkland Islands pound, pegged to the British pound and used on this remote South Atlantic territory. Question 202. What is the currency of the Isle of Man? The Manx pound, a special version of the British pound, issued by the Isle of Man itself. Question 203. What is the currency of Jersey? The Jersey pound, another island pound, unique to this British Crown dependency. Question 204. What is the currency of Guernsey? The Guernsey pound, pegged 1-to-1 with the British pound, but featuring local symbols. Question 205. What is the currency of the Faroe Islands? The Faroes krone, a local version of Denmark's currency, with artwork from these Nordic islands. Question 206. What is the currency of the Åland Islands? The euro. Though part of Finland, the Åland Islands use the same currency as much of Europe. Question 207. What is the currency of Curaçao? The Netherlands Antillean guilder, pegged to the US dollar and used on several Caribbean islands. Question 208. What is the currency of Aruba? Aruba uses the Aruban florin, not the guilder like its neighbors. Question 209. What is the currency of Svalbard? The Norwegian krone. Even this icy wilderness stays loyal to Norway's currency. Question 210. What is the currency of Taiwan? The new Taiwan dollar, official in Taiwan, though not internationally recognized. Question 211. What is the currency of Transnistria? The Transnistrian ruble, a self-issued currency you will not find on global exchange lists. Question 212. What is the currency of Abkhazia? The Russian ruble. Though the symbolic upsar exists, daily life runs on rubles. Question 213. What is the currency of Somaliland? The Somaliland shilling, a local currency in a region that governs itself. Question 214. What is the currency of Greenland? The Danish krone. Greenland is autonomous, but it still uses Denmark's official money. Question 215. What is the currency of South Ossetia? The Russian ruble. Again, local symbolic money exists, but rubles dominate. Question 216. What is the currency of the Turks and Caicos Islands? The US dollar. It is a British territory, but it runs on American cash. Question 217. What currency is used in Nagorno-Karabakh? The Armenian dram. Though politically complex, the region uses Armenia's currency. And that's the end of our world currency quiz. How many did you get right? No matter your score, you just learned something cool about our big, amazing world. Be proud of yourself for trying. You're becoming a global money master. Don't forget to like, follow, and share if you had fun. And hey, there's more awesome quizzes coming your way soon. See you next time.